Have you ever stood in the quiet of your own being and felt a gentle pull? Not a command from the world outside, but a subtle current deep within your own waters. A feeling that your life, like a river, is being guided towards a great ocean you have not yet seen. What if this feeling is not imagination? What if it is the echo of a promise your soul made long before this journey began? Ancient wisdom, passed down through lineages of quiet observation, speaks not of chance, but of resonance. It teaches that certain souls enter this world carrying a specific vibration, a unique note in the grand symphony of existence. These teachings tell us that, while all souls are journeying home, some are called upon to hold the lamp for others along the way. In my tradition, we understand that nothing in the great flow of the universe is an accident. So, if these words have found you, it is because a part of you was already listening for them. I invite you to breathe and, for a moment, to walk this path of understanding with me. We will explore what it means to be such a soul. If this first echo resonates within your heart, your simple act of connection, a shared warmth, a quiet joining of our path, allows this energy to flow further, reaching others who are also listening in the silence. Our journey together continues, and should you wish to walk this path, your presence is welcome here. You see, the signs of such a path are not grand announcements written in the sky. They are whispers. The strange, deep knowing that you have never quite moved to the same rhythm as those around you. When they run, you walk. When they speak, you feel the silence between their words. Perhaps you have looked up at the moon and felt a sense of belonging that the daylit world does not always offer. This inner restlessness is not a flaw, it is a calling. We are not speaking of mere destiny. We are speaking of dharma, of sacred duty, a task imprinted upon your energy long before you took your first breath. Imagine your soul as a seed. All seeds are born of the same earth, but not all seeds carry the same blueprint. Some are destined to become sturdy grasses that hold the soil. Others are destined to become fragrant flowers. But my tradition speaks of 4 types of seeds in particular. Seeds that carry a blueprint to become something more, a towering tree that shelters countless lives, a medicinal herb that knows how to heal, a resilient reed that shows the direction of the wind. These souls are not marked by divine favor, but by a profound spiritual responsibility. They are born with a unique sensitivity, a gift that allows them to perceive the currents of the unseen world. And this very gift is also their heaviest burden. If your life has been one of deep feeling, if you have always seemed to carry an intuition that isolates you, perhaps what you carry is not an emotional weight, but a spiritual instrument. Understand this: the journey of such a soul is rarely a peaceful stroll. It is a pilgrimage through fire. It is often marked by trials, by losses that carve you open, by periods of inexplicable sorrow. But it is precisely in this carving, in this crucible, that the inner strength is forged. The ancient ones knew that you do not go through the storm to be punished, but to be cleansed. You do not walk through fire to be burned, but to be tempered. A soul that is to carry a great light must first learn to navigate the dark. This light does not show in the strength of the body or the beauty of the face. It is a frequency, an emanation. It is felt in your gaze, in the timbre of your voice, in the quality of your silence. Perhaps you have never shared this, but you have felt a presence when you were alone. You have had a thought of someone, only to have them reach out moments later. You have woken with the vivid residue of a dream that felt more real than your waking life. You have seen repeating patterns in nature or in numbers, ripples on the surface of reality that hint at a deeper order. You may try to reason these things away, to name them coincidence. But when you carry this particular resonance, the universe is persistent. It continues to send its quiet signals, because a soul's purpose will always seek it out. If this message has reached you in this exact moment, it is not by chance. It is because the seeking and the seeker are ready to meet. This is not mere information. It is a mirror, a reflection of a truth your heart has always known but your mind had not yet found the words for. So, I invite you now to let go of doubt. Allow your heart to feel the truth of this, to remember that every cycle of pain had a purpose. Every tear watered a seed within you. Every moment of solitude was an invitation to hear a deeper voice. When this begins to settle within you, I invite you to make a simple, silent declaration to the universe. Not for anyone else, but for yourself. A simple word, a feeling, I remember. In that act, you send a ripple back into the cosmos, signaling that you are ready. Ready to understand who you truly are. Breathe deeply now, for we are about to speak of the 4 great soul paths, the 4 seeds that ancient wisdom tells us were touched with a unique dharma for this world. As you sit with this energy, understand that this moment is a threshold. For some, these are just words. But for you, who feel the pull of a greater ocean, this can be the gentle opening of an inner gate. When you cease to dismiss the whispers, the chill on your skin, the premonition in a dream, the synchronistic encounter, your entire world begins to re-enchant itself. You begin to move from living automatically to walking in awareness. The ancient wisdom of the soul was never meant to be a doctrine stored on a shelf. It is meant to be lived, felt, breathed. It speaks of an invisible river of purpose connecting the heavens to the heart of certain beings. And this river flows through specific energetic gateways which the old sky watchers called the signs. They saw them not as simple personality labels, but as sacred maps of the soul's potential. 4 of these gateways, it is taught, are for souls who came not just to have an earthly experience, but to be anchors of a higher frequency. To guide, to transmute, and to protect others, often without even realizing it. They are lighthouse souls. From a young age, they feel that this world is not their complete home, and yet they stay. They love with a fierce intensity, they feel sorrow with a profound depth, and they rise again and again, because the seed within them knows there is a purpose to the sun and the storm alike. They share a common quality, a sensitivity that permeates their very being. They feel what is unspoken. They perceive what lies beneath the surface. This is their gift and their path of practice. Ancient wisdom reminds us that every encounter, every place, every challenge for such a soul is orchestrated by a higher intelligence. No matter how you try to hide from the path destined within your seed, it will continue to call you forth. Sometimes a gentle breeze, other times an earthquake. The quiet urge to help another, a sudden clarity in a moment of danger, a feeling of an invisible companion in your deepest solitude. This is not fantasy. This is your soul's instrument being played. The more you deny its music, the louder the universe will play it for you. And so, we speak of them. Listen not just with your ears, but with your entire being. Feel for the resonance, the quiet yes, from within. The first of these soul paths is known as the way of the sacred gardener, the one you may know as Virgo. The common eye sees their need for order, their attention to detail, but the inner eye sees their true dharma to be instruments of spiritual purification. The energy of the gardener is like the patient hands that tend the soil of the soul. They can distinguish the weed from the flower, the poison from the medicine. They work quietly to clear away the debris that chokes life so that true vitality can bloom. This is the sacred act of healing. It is why they often feel the weight of the world, why they feel drained and depleted. They are constantly giving of their own life force, tending to the gardens of others, often in unseen ways. The second is the path of the ocean heart, what the world calls Pisces. This soul does not live as a bridge between worlds. It is the very water that connects the depths of the unseen with the shores of the seen. The boundaries are fluid. Since childhood, they experience the tides of intuition, dreams that carry messages, and a deep empathy that can feel overwhelming. Their dharma is to be a living reminder of faith, of surrender, of the vast mystery that life flows from. Their pain comes from feeling every current, every storm in the collective ocean, but their gift is to hold the wisdom of the deep. When they stray from their own watery nature, they feel beached and lost. But when they align with it, they become a source of profound peace for others. The third is the practice of the forest fire, known to you as Scorpio. This soul was not just chosen, it was forged in the arts of deep transformation. Their energy is intense because it carries the elemental power of death and rebirth. Souls on this path will walk through many fires in a single lifetime. They are tested, brought to ashes, and from those very ashes, they rise with a power that can only come from true surrender. They did not come for a comfortable life, but to be living proof of inner power and emotional alchemy. They are the guardians of what is hidden. From a young age, they sense the undercurrents of power, light, and shadow. And when a soul on this path awakens, their focus can transform the world around them. Finally, there is the view from the mountaintop, the path of Aquarius. Ancient teachings saw these souls as visionaries, sent with the dharma of seeing what is to come. They are the conduits for new consciousness, not driven by worldly ideology, but by a spiritual mission to help humanity evolve. It is said their souls remember living in a more harmonious resonance, and they are here to help anchor that frequency on Earth. This is why they so often feel like outsiders living in the wrong era. They are not. They are simply living in the future, sensing the patterns of the wind before it reaches the valley. When they embrace this mission, they become catalysts for collective awakening, creating space for what is new to be born. These are the four paths: the gardener, the ocean heart, the forest fire, the mountaintop. Four sacred archetypes. But to walk such a path is not a life of ease. The blade that is destined to be sharpest must spend the most time on the whetstone. The sound of its shaping may be harsh, the friction intense, but this is not punishment, it is preparation. Every soul carrying a great light will inevitably attract the attention of the shadows, and they will face tests, periods of trial where the universe feels silent. It is not a coincidence that these very souls carry the most profound stories of overcoming deep wounds and of astonishing resilience. They rise again and again because the blueprint within the seed is powerful. The pain, the loneliness, the feeling of abandonment, this is the crucible. Only one who has navigated the dark can truly be a bearer of the light. They are watched over, yes, but they are also watched. A soul awake is a threat to all that thrives on slumber. And so to carry this light, one must pass through the fire, the loss that makes no sense, the betrayal that shakes you to your core, the cycles that seem to block you at every turn. This is the universe refining you, not destroying you. You are being prepared. As you begin to recognize this truth, you may also recall the signs. Those repeating numbers 11, 22. They are ripples on the surface of a still pond, telling you of movements in the deep. A shiver down your spine is the body perceiving an energetic shift. A dream so real is your soul traveling while your body rests. This is spiritual language. It is your guardians trying to speak to you, calling you back to the path you chose. Ancient wisdom teaches that you are never alone. But these guardians do not interfere. They observe, they protect, they send signs. And they do this through the quiet channels of intuition, synchronicity, through words like these that strike a deep chord within your soul. They are reminders that you are on the correct path. But there is a condition. This guidance system works through faith, not belief, but an open, trusting state of being. If you close your heart, if you choose to live mechanically, the signs will fade. The connection requires your presence. How many times has something saved you at the last moment? An inexplicable change of mind that avoided a danger you only later discovered. A moment of stillness and a feeling of an invisible hand upon your own. That is not your imagination. That is the covenant of your path being honored. What happens when a soul on one of these paths turns away? What happens when fear, exhaustion, or disbelief leads one to ignore the call? The greatest danger is not from the outside. It is the forgetting of the self. When a chosen soul begins to doubt the truth of its own nature, its light weakens. And when the light dims, life loses its magic. The guidance is interrupted, not because the guardians have left, but because the receiver has been turned off. The universe honors our free will. When you deny your own spirit, a disconnection occurs, leading to confusion, fatigue, a deep sense of emptiness. To have a great spiritual purpose and to try to live an ordinary life is the source of the deepest suffering. And yet, the world we live in encourages this forgetting. It values only what can be measured and seen. And so the sensitive soul learns to be silent, to doubt itself, to try and fit in where it was born to stand out. Denying your spiritual essence is like asking a river to stop flowing to the sea. It can only lead to stagnation and sorrow. The farther you stray, the louder the call to return becomes, sometimes appearing as a life crisis, a collapse of all that you thought was stable. This is your soul shaking you awake. It does not demand perfection. It asks only for your presence, and there is always a way back. Your sensitivity is your compass. It tells you when you are far from home. These four paths carry this great spiritual responsibility. They cannot afford to live on autopilot. When they deny this, the price is a profound sense of living a life that is no longer your own. There is no greater pain for an awakened soul than to live as if it is asleep. If you have remained with me until this final moment, you have not been led here by accident. You felt the subtle vibration, the goosebumps, the inner quiet that comes when a sacred truth is being spoken. This has been a direct call to that part of you the world has tried to silence, but which has never stopped beating with a divine pulse. We did not speak of mere astrology. We spoke of ancient codes within you, awakening memories long dormant. You are here because a part of you has been searching for this remembrance. The spiritual journey does not end with this knowing. This is where it truly begins. This is the moment of activation, when the universe sees your open heart and begins to intensify the signs, open the locked doors, and place you on your true course. But this happens only if you answer the call. The choice was made in the heavens long ago. Your response is what is needed now on earth, to honor the call that has echoed in your soul for years. Your age does not matter. Your location does not matter. When the soul awakens, time itself bows to its new reality. And so, with truth in my heart, I invite you not to let this moment dissolve. Something has happened within you. You feel it. If this message stirred the waters of your soul, if it brought tears to your eyes, or a silence louder than 1,000 voices, I invite you to declare your readiness in the space below. Not with words of ego, but of quiet knowing. To simply write, "The path is revealed. I am ready to walk." This phrase is a code, an activation, a signal sent from your heart to the heart of the universe, which will answer, "I know who you are, and I am with you." Our walk does not end here. This is only the beginning. I invite you to continue on this path, as someone consciously choosing a journey of revelation. For in our next steps together, we will go deeper. We will speak not just of the seeds, but of the earth that holds them, the guardian souls placed in this world to protect spiritual lineages and to hold energetic fields that keep our realm in balance. You may discover that your pain has not been yours alone, but that you have been carrying the weight for others as a sacred duty. You will see that this too is a gift, a mission. But it will only make sense if you continue to walk with us. For now, I leave you with this. May you find the silent, unshakable mountain within your own heart, and may you walk your path in peace.